Okay, we're gonna look at one more 9.5 real world example, and I'm gonna get this from the 9.5 exercises in the textbook. We are going to look at question number 51. So here it is, number 51. In exercise 51, we're gonna use the given area A of the rectangle to find the value of X, then give the dimensions of the rectangle. So here's our rectangle that we're looking at. We have our area is 91, and they give us the dimensions for the length and width as these expressions. So I'm gonna work on my piece of paper over here. So let me just slide it over. And I already drew it on my paper. I drew the diagram, which I find to be helpful. And let's just decide which one is gonna be the length and which one is gonna be the width. And technically it doesn't matter, but let's call this one the length and this one the width, just so we're all on the same page. Okay. Let's first start with our area is equal to length times width. I'm gonna multiply the length and the width together here, and I'm gonna set it equal to the area. So we'll say that x plus 2 times 2x plus 3 is equal to 91. Now, we wanna find the value of x. So if we're solving for x, that means we're gonna use the quadratic formula. We're gonna first start by getting the equation into the right form in standard form that equals 0. We need ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So to do that, we need to multiply this side out. We're gonna FOIL and get the equation equal to 0. So here we go, first times first, I get 2x squared. My outer is plus 3x. My inner is plus 4x. And my last is plus 6. Is equal to 91. Let's combine our like terms. 3x and 4x are like terms. And at the same time, why don't we also get it equal to 0? So let's subtract 91 from both sides so I can have our equation equal to 0 here. So now we have our equation 2x squared plus 7x, and then let's subtract 6 minus 91 is negative 85. So minus 85 is equal to 0. Now we're ready to actually solve it. We're going to use the quadratic formula to solve for x. Use the quadratic formula. So here's my a, my b, and my c. And let's go ahead and plug it in to our quadratic formula. We have x equals the opposite of b, so negative 7x, or just negative 7, just the coefficient, plus or minus the square root of b squared, so 7 squared, minus 4 times our a, which is 2, times our c, which is negative 85, all over 2 times our a, which is 2. Okay, let's simplify. We're gonna keep this negative 7 plus or minus the square root. Let's start multiplying here. 7 squared is 49. Then negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. Negative 8 times negative 85 is positive 680. All over 2 times 2, which is 4. Let's keep simplifying. Negative 7 plus or minus the square root. Let's combine these numbers underneath the radical here to get 729 over 4. Okay, my next step is I'm going to take the square root of 729, and 729 happens to be a perfect square. So when I take the square root, it's going to come out really nice. So I'm just going to go down here. We get x equals negative 7 plus or minus the square root of 729 is 27 over 4. Now for this problem, we can't have a negative length or a negative width. So we need to think about what's going to give us positive lengths and widths here, which means that x has to end up becoming positive. So think about which one would give us a positive answer if this was a plus or a minus. Clearly this needs to be a plus 27 to make our numerator positive, and a positive divided by a positive will give us a positive. So we're just going to do negative 7 plus 27 over 4. Okay, let's add this together. We get 20 over 4, and that means that we have 5 for our x. Okay, we can't stop here. Remember, the question says that we also need to give the dimensions of the rectangle. So we did find the x, but now let's find the dimensions. So we said that our length is this x plus 2 expression. Let's take the 5 and let's plug it in. So 5 plus 2 gives us 7 meters. And then let's do our width is our second expression here, 2x plus 3. Let's plug our 5 in here. So 2 times 5 plus 3. This gives me 10 plus 3, which is 13 meters. So there we have our dimensions. A really nice way to quickly and easily double check that I know I got this correct is I know that the area is 91. Let's use the length and the width, multiply them together, see if I get 91. So I'm just gonna quickly use my calculator here, 7 times 13, and I do get 91. So I know I got this correct.